honourable colleagues from various countries, dear friends, it's again a privilege to be here at the residence of your home, my dear, and I thank you for the invitation and bring to you the greetings of the all-party group from the Houses of Parliament, made up of all, as you know, all of the parties are represented, and they send you their best wishes. At this moment, all of our thoughts must be with those poor, unfortunate people that have had to suffer violence, humiliation, incarceration and death at the hands of the mullahs. Our thoughts go out to them and their families, and I'm sure I speak for everyone here when I say we salute their bravery and wish them well in their continuing battle to get freedom for their people. We're here today to express our support for those people and to rededicate ourselves to the task of widening the knowledge of what goes on inside that virtually closed society in Iran. For over 30 years, it's been my privilege to support the resistance movement, and over these past 3 decades, it's been a privilege to work with colleagues, some I see here today, and to meet up with old friends and to meet new ones, all with the same dedication to try and bring about human rights improvements and democracy in Iran. We've tried over the years through the NCRI to highlight the atrocities of the regime, and we've sought to hold those responsible accountable for the crimes, and many crimes they have committed during this period. So many crimes against brave people. The years of activity that so many have been involved in is, I believe, now being reflected by the nationwide protests that we've just seen that came from various parts of Iran. Millions of Iranians, through their slogans, are making it clear, once again, they want genuine change to a democratic and free Iran. Today, the popular slogans that we've just seen on the Iranian streets are demanding the end of the entire theocratic dictatorial regime and reject any notion of reformers, and making the case that the Iranian people want true democratic change, which you, Madam Javi, have called for so many years. You've called constantly for stability in the region and for democratic change. We're lucky in our Parliament that we don't divide on this issue on party grounds. We have colleagues from both Houses of Parliament that support you and your resistance movement. It's a cross-party basis because you are espousing a true democratic platform for a future Iran based on the 10-point democratic reform that you have so eloquently said in so many places, in so many parts of Europe. Just a few of those points: the abolition of the death penalty, the rule of law, an independent judiciary and gender equality. This modern and democratic platform for Iran's future will ensure that the Iranian people, their uprising that we've seen, actually will start to bear fruit as more and more of the world sees what's going on with these evil people running the country. Madam Majari, your movement gives hope to the protesters. It gives hope to the people not only of Europe but the world. You terrify, through the organisation, the supreme leader and the theocratic leaders who confess to the strength of your movement and acknowledging your role in organising the nationwide protests. Now that's a bit of a change. For many years they would deny, before we had social media and these telephones that take pictures, they would deny that anybody ever did anything in Iran. People like me were called troublemakers, had no evidence that people in Iran had had enough of the regime. You've mentioned the dangers of appeasement. Madam Rajavi, the European and UK policy in appeasing the regime is sadly placing us on the wrong side of history and it must and will change because we no longer can ignore the democratic aspirations of the Iranian people. The violence on the streets is only committed by the desperate theocracy that hopes to quell the desire of millions of Iranians for a better future. The United Kingdom, the EU, and for what it's worth, the United Nations, they haven't done very much over the years. All the years I've been at it, all they do is pass resolutions and do very little in a concrete form to bring these people to book. So we've got to speak loud, we've got to speak louder, and we've got to speak strongly for change. That's why I urge my government and other EU members and states within Europe to join us in recognising that the NCRI, the PMOI and Madam Rajavi's 10-point platform for a future Iran is a viable alternative to the current theocracy. We demand the release of those people that have been locked up just for protesting. We demand the release of those arrested protesters and the political prisoners who have been arrested only because they oppose the supreme leader and the medieval system of absolute rule of the clergy. The ongoing anti-regime protests show that the situation will not go into the past. The Iranian people's demand for change will only intensify. That means, like many dictators before it, the theocratic regime is doomed to be deposed by the people, and the UK and the EU must stand with the brave people of Iran and their legitimate opposition movement, the NCRI, not with their oppressors. I will conclude, colleagues and friends, on a personal note. Madam Rajavi, over these many years, I have, like many others, have been inspired by your determined and honourable leadership. I thank you for the inspiration. And as my late colleague and friend Lord Corbett always said at meetings such as this, one day Iran will be free. Thank you.